Hello world. It's been a minute. I don't think I've podcasted in 3 or 4 months, and obviously I'm not in my same setting because my roommate never leaves the house anymore. So I'm in my bedroom in what I'm calling my pre-condo suite because my husband watched Tidying Up with Marie Kondo, and you should see our drawers. Like, we've gotten rid of so much stuff. It's lovely and cathartic because I am a chronic, deleter. I love to delete, throw away, get rid of. I love to cleanse the house regularly. And he is always the person being like, no, we might need that for some reason someday. So ever since he watched that, it's been like he's been piling things up that he wants to go through to figure out if they're necessary and if they spark joy and if he still needs them. And I am all for this because I donate clothes and furniture and books and things on a regular basis. And he's so funny because he's like, oh yeah, I really like minimalism. He doesn't really like minimalism. He likes stuff. He likes having stuff. And so it's been wonderful to watch him sort of go through this maybe I don't need that. And I'm like, yes, purge it. So I'm happy about that, but it's just been nonstop. Like since November, since our anniversary basically, everything I did and everything I knit was for other people because it's Christmas. You do your Christmas knitting. And I was just trying to bust things out. And I did. I managed to do it. I made Finch tote bags from Stitch Mischief. She has a pattern. I made Finch tote bags for all the ladies in the family, and I made a knitted item to then put into those bags to give them on Christmas. So yeah, I made beautiful items for them, and I put them in the bags, and hopefully they'll find use for them because I know that none of the other ladies in the family knit, but I thought they would enjoy having something to put stuff in. Everyone likes a big bag to put stuff in, and that's basically what the Finch tote bag is. But yes, so that's where I've been, and that's why everything is a mess. This is actually my outside craft section, my entire closet. I live in a tiny apartment, by the way. We all do. 3 of us, and basically 4, because my roommate's girlfriend basically lives here. Katie is the best. I love her. He makes me crazy, but I like her. That was mean. I take that back. I love them both. But this is sort of the stuff that I regularly have to touch. This is my tools. That's how I'll say it. This is my tools section. So I have 2, I'm trying to use the little thing. I have 2 ball winders. I actually made this bag. I thought it was going to be a bigger kind of tote bag, and it's too soft. So I actually keep yarn in here, like a crazy hoarder, which I actually have a whole tin or a whole box for yarn because the one thing I would probably never Marie Kondo is my own craft collection. Whatever. My clothes are fabulous. They look amazing. But I have my little sewing machine that I never use. Oh, it's not even in frame. I have a sewing machine right here. You can't see it. I never use it. I got it when I was 13 or 14. I really wanted it. I had to have it. I really thought I was going to start sewing my own clothes and doing X, Y, and Z. And then I never had the funds or the time because I was a teenager and my parents weren't crafty. Also, I have no makeup on and I'm lovely. It's 10 a.m. right now. I just woke up. I made this. This is the sweatshirt sweater from Purl Soho. I made it in November, I want to say. I honestly was like, okay, I'll just pull out every single thing I bought and every single thing that I've made since I made my last podcast. I'm not going to do that. That's so much stuff. So much stuff. And so much of that stuff is pointless. You don't need to see every single pair of socks that I've made or every single, shawl. And most of them I gave away, like I mentioned. Most of the things I have made since October to, it's March 2nd today, to now, I've given away to other people for Christmas, birthdays, Valentine's Day. I did an advent for my husband for Valentine's Day, and it was fantastic. It was lovely and heartfelt. I'm amazing. I am patting myself on the back for that one because that was actually kind of hard trying to find 14 things to gift him. one of which was knitted and will be in this podcast. So yes, enough about my like crazy life. Oh, also we've moved to full-time remote, so I spend all my time at home, and because of that I immediately started going back into the office after about 2 months of being at home because it was making me crazy. I can't work from home and then be at home. Like, I need space between the two because I am a deeply solitary person. So I need to have my solitary space continue to be a place where I can be solitary instead of being a place where I work and then try to log off. Like, it was rough. And so I didn't want to podcast then either, despite the fact that it was my only time I probably had alone for a little while, until about, well, for the month of January, basically. All right, let's get started on some things that are sparking joy for me then. I did a test knit for Born and Raised for the Sarah crop, which if you follow me on Instagram or you know where I am on Ravelry, I'm Skip Red on Ravelry, by the way, which has nothing to do with any of my other like titles or handles. It's my gaming title, actually, my gaming handle. I did a test knit for Born and Raised Knits for the Sarah crop. Na, 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 na. It's so pretty. One thing I will say though is that at the bottom, which you can probably see here, it flares out a lot, and so I go in the middle. I have like my body type is wavy hands. I do this like very distinctly. So I go in and then I come back out. And so this top sort of like just goes out. So when I wear it without wearing like a shirt under it, it looks like a tutu almost. It literally like just shoots straight out from my hips or from my ribs. And it's just like bloop. And it's super cute. But I am terrified that if a breeze comes along, it'll just be like whoop and show for everyone. So I always wear something under it. But I really was hoping while I was making it, I was like, oh, this will be a super cute crop and it'll hang really nice, and it just goes out on me because I am a toddler. But it is beautiful, and I used 2 colors of Malabrigo. I want to say this is Arroyo, this pink right here, and then the blue is Silky Merino, and then this purple color, which I love, is called LSP. I think I've shown it in a haul video on here before, but it's by Lyonai. I think that's how you say it, Lynai. I don't know. But she makes beautiful yarn. And this is a DK weight 3-stranded color work, which I think is it's actually the only time I've done full 3-stranded color work, because previously I'd done things that were like 3-stranded for like a tiny section, but this whole thing, like all the way down. And then this is more color work on the bottom that gives you these like pleats. It's so cute. And I have pictures on my Ravelry and on my Instagram if you want to see me wearing it, but it is adorable. And I would recommend it, but it is definitely not for the faint of heart. It's definitely something to do once you have a little more color work experience under your belt. And then this is kind of like I don't even know what this is. It's from a Pom Pom magazine. It's kind of a throwaway thing that I made because I really wanted to use this yarn, which was Lorna Laces and Cloudborn Magpie Speckle or something like that. But it's so beautiful. And there's this little like lace, I think it's called Lace and Horn or something. Deer horn? I don't know. I'll look it up. But it's this pretty little like very subtle lace pattern. I was originally making a ditto hat with this, and I got all the way I got halfway, and then I realized you couldn't see any of the cables that I was making. So I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. My only complaint is that it's got a nipple. Hold on, my husband's asking me if I want to eat breakfast, which always. But yeah, I need to put like a pom-pom on it so you can see the lace a little better when I wear it, but it just sticks straight up. But I wore this on Valentine's Day. It was 32 degrees, and we walked 5 miles, me and all my badass ladies. And then we went back, and I wasn't drinking in February because I did dry February instead of dry January because I don't like the attitude of dry January, which is like a weird thing I'll get into later, but I wanted to do it separate, and then people made fun of me because February is the shortest month, and I was like, fair. I just didn't think about that. But yeah, so I had fruit juice, and I had bought all of the Lush products, the little eggplants and peaches, bath bombs for my ladies. So I put those in little gift bags and gave it to them. But it's warm, and it worked perfectly. 32 degrees, y'all. 32 degrees, and we walked like 5 miles. And I was warm-ish. I wish I'd worn more pants. I always wish I'd worn more pants. Ooh, yes. Oh, I also got a haircut. Not like it matters, because you haven't seen me in like 5 months, so obviously I'm gonna look a little different. A little bit. And I didn't know, I guess we're just in FO mode. Okay, cool. I didn't know that your Christmas Eve cast-on was supposed to be a sock pattern. I thought it could just be anything. Apparently there are rules, whatever that means, and you're only supposed to make socks. And I said, screw that. I've been dreaming about this like ideal cowl in the colors that I think of as being Sailor Jupiter colors, but pastel, because I am a forever fangirl, never won't be. So enjoy it. But I made this 3-color cashmere cowl with, I love Malabrigo, so you'll hear me mention them a lot. This is actually Purl and Ply, this pink right here. I think it's called Make Me Blush or something. And then this is Stitch Mischief Cotton Candy, and it's beautiful. It's got that like light speckle of pink and green on a cream base. Oh, it's genius. And then this green down here is called like water green or something from Malabrigo Sock. I'm really great with names, if y'all can't tell. I'm really on top of it because I totally haven't just had this for 3 months sitting in a drawer. But I have. But I think it's just beautiful. I love this. I honestly, like, I like these little stripes here. You can't really tell because my colors are so subtle, but this section right here is a bunch of different little tiny stripes. And then it goes straight into this green, and then this lace. I love this lace. I would have liked this lace to have been on both sides of the green, but I guess I can see why she didn't do it like that. I'm gonna put everything on today. I blocked it lightly, but I don't think I blocked it enough because, like, it's hard to tell where the green is. And I'm tempted to just wear it upside down because technically you're supposed to wear it, I think. Again, I think there are rules, but I don't know what they are. Every time I see people wearing it, they wear it with the eyelets at the top. But I'm probably going to start wearing it with the lace at the top because I think the lace is so much prettier. But I do need to block it out a little bit more because it's got a lot more stretch left. It's just that I haven't properly blocked it. I think I just like wet it and then kind of hung it somewhere. Again, it took me 3 days to do, and the minute I finished it, I wanted to do another one, and so I'm gonna start making these in character themes because I have a yellow and a blue. I just need a really bright cherry red, and I'm gonna make a Snow White one. And I'm gonna make one for all the Sailor Scouts and give them to all my badass lady friends, which I have many of because having badass lady friends is the best. And then, for my last FO, and possibly the last thing I'll get to show you before I have to go to brunch with my husband, I made a little Voodoo You Love Me by, I'm blanking on her name, but she makes all the stuffies all the time, and he's adorable. He's got little blue eyes, and I put this stupid little smile on his face, and I found this organic, it's called Organic Buttons or something. It's ridiculous, but it's like wood, and oh, he's so cute. And this color is called Zombie Dust, and the DK, and Lolo did it Zombie Dust, and her DK weight. And let me tell you, I freaking love this color. I don't know if you can see how beautiful it is, but I'm gonna like, she makes something called Whole Lotta DK where it's basically a sweater's quantity of DK in a single skein. I'm gonna knit a sweater out of this color because I love it. It's very me. And I was thinking I'd knit like a nice big loose baggy sweater in this color, and it'll be a freaking go-to because it's beautiful. It's gray with pops of color. How do you not? That's like her whole wheelhouse is gray with pops of color. And then I also have these, which I've talked about a lot, but I really want y'all to know how much I love them because I need to post a link in the description bar or whatever. but these are the keep them on their toes socks. And these are leftover, like the tiniest bit of leftover yarn I had from my Maya tunic. Like, you don't need any yarn at all. This is why I always subtleize these socks. You don't need any yarn at all to make them, and then they're beautiful and perfect. So my one work in progress this time around has been an absolute labor of love for my husband. And if I look different, it's because I just got home. I ate breakfast. I'm happier now. I've eaten. But yes, I am making the Devon sweater. This is just, it's made in pieces and then it's sewn together, which I don't think I will ever do again, because that is just extra work for no reason. And I don't love the way that my seams look because I'm not the best hand stitcher, but this is the body of the sweater. This is what he wanted. We looked for months to find him the ideal sort of sweater pattern. This is what he wanted. And the body is done in Noro's crayon, but the pattern calls for a bulky weight, so I just held it double, which was a beast. This is also the largest like needle size I've ever worked with. But yeah, and then here's the back. And it's sort of a naturally self-striping, and considering I used like 10 different balls, I think it looks pretty okay. He loves the way that it looks. And I did the neckline in Noro Silk Garden. And the color for the body, I think is 211, and the color for in Silk Garden, which is a different material, is 269. And they're still on my needles right now, but they're huge. I'm actually about to start decreasing. And I have this cute little hedgehog progress keeper. Hopefully y'all can see that. They're almost done. I really wanted them to be done for Valentine's Day. This was supposed to be his Valentine's Day present. That's the word. Words, Maya. But I ran out of silk of the, yes, I ran out of the Noro Silk Garden, and I had to order more. Actually, I found some in a stash, and so I purchased them from a D-stash, and they got here 3 days ago, something like that. But yeah, so I'm almost done. It couldn't be done by Valentine's Day, but that's okay. And then my other work in progress currently is this sock, which I actually, I put them away because I'm cleaning. But I made a candy floss sock, which is this really cute, has this cute little like semi-cabling. It is cabling, but you don't need a cable needle to do it, which is why I like it. And I love the way that the ribbing turned out. And this is in Lolo Did It. Hippo for Easter, which is actually my favorite hippo colorway because I love the rainbow pastels. And then I want to say this color, I was originally planning on using Julep, but I think this is Shaboom. I finished one sock and I've got a second one on the needles. I'm trying to be really quiet because my husband is actually in the like other room right there, and I'm trying not to bother him. We'll see. So I had this beautiful idea that I was going to take this Drops Fable and this like really hideous Southwestern yarn color, and I was going to make this amazing like alien sweater with it, and it was going to be all Roswell-y with this Essence of Autumn non-superwash wool yarn that I have. And when I went to swatch them with the like alien motif, it just didn't work and it blended together, and I was really sad. So instead I decided, you know what, that orange yarn would be great for a booby holster. So I'm making a little bralette. I've finished one. I can post the pattern. I like it a lot. And then I'm on my second one. And so I think it's a free pattern on, you can find it on Ravelry, but you make like the top of the cups and then you make like the top of the back, and then you connect them all, and from there you sort of just keep going down until it fits. It's really funny because all of the, like, I'm not gonna say the reviews, but all the patterns that I looked at were like, oh, this is great because I have really small boobs. And so I was making it and I was like, I don't have really small boobs. I have large boobs. So hopefully I can make it fit in a way that will accommodate that. But it was so cute. I could not make it. So yeah, TMI time with Maya. And then let's see, what else do I have? Oh, I wanted to spotlight something I had made a long time ago that I'm not sure I ever actually showed on the podcast. I'm not sure if I ever like gave the love that it deserved, because I actually made a second one of these for my sister-in-law for Christmas. But this is the local yarn shop shawl by Casa Pinka Knits, and she's gonna come up again in a second. But I love this shawl. I think it's fun and fresh and enjoyable. And so the reason I wanted to highlight it is because this color up here is by Cat Sandwich Fibers, and it's called Lavender by the Bay, and I love it. It's just a beautiful, like, beautiful, stunning color. And then I paired it here with just like a black from, it's probably a Cascade Heritage or something like that. But they play so beautifully together. And then I made another one of these for my sister-in-law, and the colors I used were Lucky in her Merino single by Jinx Yarn, R.I.P. And then Hippo for St. Patrick's Day, which is gray with green speckles. She does a lot of gray and speckle. I like it a lot. But yeah, I love this shawl. It gets a lot of wear. It's very pretty, and it's also very me, but it's just so pretty, and it sat in I was sitting in my closet, and I was like, that should get looked at by someone. Somebody needs to be seeing this, because I was wearing it a lot in the spring, and then now that like winter has rolled around, I don't wear it quite as much, and it just sort of fell into like a bin somewhere, and I had forgotten that I owned it, so I am enjoying it. And then I had a couple of other things that I wanted to talk about. My mother-in-law got me this Darn Good Yarn box, which is a really great idea, especially if you're very new to yarn and crochet and knitting, because they definitely are extremely inclusive. So it's a lot of different types of yarn. It's all like ethically sourced, and they have a whole story that you can read online. And they always send you a yarn and then a tool of some kind. This month it was stitch markers, but previously it's been like crochet hooks and knitting needles. Forget what, I think there's a gauge counter or something. I forget what you would even call that. But the yarn this month is this. It is so sparkly, and most of them are made from like pure silk, and the last two that I got looked like silk roving, like they were so thick. But this is their first like fingering weight one that I've ever gotten. I hope y'all can see how like crazy sparkly this is. I don't know if it's really picking it up on the camera, but it's so sparkly. And I don't know how much it is actually, but they have, you know, where it came from, and they have like ideas for patterns and things you can try for both knit and crochet. And I just thought it was a really cool idea. And I think if you have people who are kind of new to yarn and new to the whole process of, you know, crafting with yarn and fiber crafting, then that's perfect for them. You could use that for weaving even, especially if you have, you know, if you want to get something that's really kind of out there, because all the colors I've gotten so far have been very vibrant. So when I did the test knit for Born and Raised, she sent me a little thank you package, which had a little thing of yarn in it from Hedgehog Fibers Sporty Singles and the color Down by the River, which is funny because this color is so me, and I actually was ogling it and I almost bought it off of a D-stash. I hope y'all can see that very well. The windows are open because it's super gross outside. It's like gray. But I almost bought this from a D-stash, and then I was like, no, I don't need any more yarn. And then she sent it to me, and I thought it was the best thing ever. And she sent me this lovely little note that was so sweet. And inside of it, there's a little stitch marker that says, equality can't be stopped. And let me tell you, this is going to go on my very next project. I'm so excited. I specifically left it in this little envelope so that I could tell you guys about it. And now that I told you, I'm going to use it. My glasses keep falling down my face. And then this is sort of, I bought this yarn, sorry for the crinkling, I bought this yarn on a D-stash, and I have the project in mind for it, and that project is Evenings in Edinburgh by Casapinka, because I bought like 11 of her patterns the other day, and I love her, and she's fantastic, and she makes beautiful fun stuff. And it is a giant, like, it takes like 8 skeins of DK weight to make this, like, it's a jacket, like a jacket, and it's so beautiful. I'm not even gonna look it up. I'll see if I can find a picture or something. And so I got the same dyer. This is Work in Progress Yarns with yarns. And it's all black, white, and gray with some speckles. It's so loud. Hopefully y'all can see that well enough. But it calls for 8 skeins, and I got 8 skeins of this. And it's DK weight. It's called To the Moon and Back. And it's beautiful. I bought this off a D-stash, and it was a freaking steal. But if you haven't seen that jacket or the whip yarns, I would highly recommend you look them up, because that jacket is beautiful, and I can't wait. Can't wait to make it, can't wait to have it. I don't know where I'll wear it, but I'm gonna make it, and it's gonna be great. It's in my queue. I figured out how to use my queue on Ravelry. I work in tech, like that's what I do for a job, and I still have times when I'm just like, oh, I don't want to figure that out. I don't want to learn how to do that. I don't even want to try. Like it's like chefs, you know, they cook all day at work. They don't want to go home and then cook something that's fancy and like bougie. They just want to eat. They don't care. That's how I feel. It's like I come home and I'm like, no more tech. I'm done. I don't want to do that anymore. But I did figure it out, and so I have like 30 things in my queue now, and it's out of control. But I'm excited, and I can keep track of things. I feel like my library should be my queue. I feel like if it's in my library, it should be something I want to make. I shouldn't have just bought it. I shouldn't just be sitting there. But I figure if I queue them up, then I can know roughly how long it'll take. Or, well, maybe not, but I can decide what will be my next point of focus, which is something I have a lot of trouble with. And then kind of the last thing I wanted to talk about, because I don't actually know if I've talked about this yet, is this beautiful yarn that I discovered. It's from Japan, and it's called Serrato, and that's what this entire box, it's full. I haven't even touched it. I actually got this at like November of last year, I think. Actually, it might have been before that. Oh my gosh, I've had this for a while. And I haven't even touched it yet, because I was like, oh yeah, I'll make presents out of that for other people. And then I sort of found other things, and I was like, no, I need to make things out of this stuff over here that I already have, that's wound up, that I've already like dug into. I wanted to make a lot of like scrap projects, and that's what I did. But look at this yarn, y'all. It's so beautiful. I hope it's showing up correctly on camera. I can't tell, honestly. But it's 100% cotton, and they're all like ethically sourced, recycled, 100% recycled cotton. This is just their like blue color. I bought so much of this, and it's huge. This is I forget what it is. It's like 800 yards or something of like fingering / sport weight, depending on where you're from, I guess. But it's beautiful, and I got it in a bunch of like super neutral colors, and then I got this color because I couldn't resist it. I had to have it. But yeah, so I got like 11,000 things of it, and I'm really excited to eventually use it one day. I actually specifically just bought a bunch of stuff so I could reorganize my yarn. If y'all have any yarn organization tips, I would really, really appreciate it, because I'm a little out of control, and I I throw like skeins, caked up skeins that I've already dug into like project bags, and then I just let them sit there. Like my project bags don't have projects in them because I just keep caked up yarn in there, and that's not me living my best life. Like that's not, I can never tell what I have and don't have. I can never tell if I have a project in any of my bags because they're so full of like caked up yarn. So I bought little storage things to hopefully help me, but we'll see. And then let's see. Oh no, just my pocket just ate something. I am gonna wrap this up because I actually have to go pick up my 14-year-old sister-in-law. I showed her the Spellman sweater, which came out, the pattern came out yesterday, the 1st of March. And from the 1st to the 3rd, all of the proceeds go to Color of Change. These are the things I know because they're fresh in my brain. It's by Dragon Horde Yarn, Tristan of Dragon Horde Yarn. And I am in love with The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. I love it. I loved it as a comic book. And my sister-in-law, 14-year-old, I actually just call her my sister because she feels like my little sister. Like I have an actual sister-in-law that's like a totally separate person, but Hannah just feels like my little sister. So my little sister, she's also obsessed with it, and we were sort of commiserating on it the other day about how it's like, oh, a lot of people we know are like, oh no, it's creepy and it's spooky and I don't like it. And I'm like, we love it. We love it so much. Even though it's creepy and spooky, I don't care. And so she's been wanting to get into like more knitting. She knits. She can knit. She knits, you know, flat a lot. But she's never really knit in the round before, and she's always asked me to do stuff like that with her and to teach her those things. And I always tell her I will, and then I'm a horrible sister, and then I don't. And so I saw this sweater, and it's a cropped sweater, which is very her style. And it looked simple enough, and I think we'll probably skip, there's like a cable and some bobbles that come down the shoulders. I think for her, because it's her first sweater, we'll skip that on hers while we're learning to make it together. And then I'll do it on mine, but I don't think she'll want to do it, honestly. I don't think she'll trust herself to do it, and she'll be afraid to mess it up. But I think it'll be a great first sweater for her. And that way she has a copy of the pattern. Whenever she does get better at texture, she can decide if she wants to do the bobbles and the cabling. But she's thrilled, and it'll be us doing something together, and it'll be us having like knit nights and being, you know, me being the proper sister I've been like telling her all the time I would be. We went and saw Anastasia last weekend though, in Dallas. The Broadway musical came to Dallas, and we watched it last weekend, and it was fantastic. So if it's coming to your city, I would highly recommend it because it's great. But yeah, so I'm gonna go get her. I'm gonna take her to my local yarn shop, and we're gonna pick out some yarn for her first sweater, and I'm really excited. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye.